which ushered in new football leadership at the grassroots level. And as Steve Shitera now reports, attention shifts to the national polls that will culminate in the election of the new FKF president. Of course, we'll be getting that package shortly, but I'll start with you, Brenda. That footage will be coming, but basically you saw what happened at the grassroots level, 48 branches, so to speak. Of course, 47 counties birthing that 48 branches, and the outcome is already out. Is that a win in this process because of the huge litigations we've had?
Yeah, given that there were orders that barred these elections from taking place, on Tuesday last week, when the ruling was given that the elections were supposed to go on, that was a first major win for the Kenyan football scene, because, again, we know that the mess that is there, or rather the mess we are in, can only be sorted by changing the elections, changing the leadership. And there was need for these elections to take place in December. I mean, that would be the very first step we take to try and change anything. The fact that now we've had these elections take place, we saw, in as much as they have not taken place in all the 48, there's still a couple of places that are still facing court orders, and they've been barred from having the elections. I think that should be resolved pretty soon, before December 7th. But that is the first major step in ensuring that on December 7th, we finally have our elections. Hopefully, after that, we're able to swiftly move and start organizing CHAN and setting the stage for also the 2027 AFCON. What was most noticed in most of these branches is there was a change of leadership at the helm of the branch chairman, in particular in areas. And I think that was a message that was being sent to whatever quarters, whichever way we want to look at it. But it is now that the campaigns start because initially the campaigns have been based on so-and-so is likely to be elected. But now we have actual people that have been elected, and they're going to contribute to parts of, they completed the list of delegates. That's what we needed to happen. So it is now that the candidates for the presidency and the national office start work properly, rather start campaigns properly and lobbying to have themselves elected. I'm looking forward to a very interesting 2-3 weeks as we have before the elections.
Now let's go back to that story. And after months of anticipation and endless litigation, the stage is now all but set for the Football Kenya Federation national elections primed for December 7. This follows the conclusion of the branch elections held last week, and which ushered in new football leadership at the grassroots level. And as Steve Shitera now reports, attention shifts to the national polls that will culminate in the election of the new FKF president.
After much wait, November 14th was the D-Day as football stakeholders across the country
11, 12.
went to the polls to make their voices heard. Loud and clear it was. Electing officials at the county level that included county chairmen, secretaries, treasurers, women representatives and youth representatives across the 47 counties.
Kwa uwezo wa Mungu tumeibuka washindi, na timu yangu ile tulikuwa naye tumepanga. Hii imekuwa ni mwamko mpya, na owners wa hii winning ya leo ni hawa clubs hapa.
Na stakeholders wote katika kaunti ya Kisii kwa upande wa mpira kusimama tena imara na kuweza kuchagua viongozi ambao watawapeleka kwa hiki kipindi ambacho kinakuja, na wameweza kurudisha timu yetu yote kwa sababu ya kazi nzuri ambayo tumeweza kufanya hapo awali.
The outcome has thrown the dagger into the works and sparked the fire in the bellies of the 8 presidential hopefuls, who are now in a mad dash to court and win the soul of the delegates ahead of the December 7th national elections. With the camps of Hussein Mohamed, Doris Petra, and Kakamega homeboy Supremo Cleophas Shimanyula all laying claim to resounding victories in the branch polls.
We have won Wajir, we have won Garissa, we have won in all out of 29 branches Team Fresh, and the country is ready for Fresh. And that's why we have waited for this day, and I'm very happy that Garissa has made decision today and Wajir has made decision, and they want this change. This is what we are waiting for a long time, and I want to take this opportunity to thank the Football Kenya Federation delegate for speaking very loud.
Unajua kila mtu alikuwa ako aligned na side yake. Mimi definitely mimi nimekuwa Team Blue. That is my line, Team Blue. Na everyone knows. As a leader, unajua una take position, or you don't sit kwa fence.
But former FKF CEO Barry Otieno says it's not the moment to count the chicken just yet.
4, 5.
The race for the FKF presidency has attracted 8 candidates, who include Hussein Mohammed, the Muranga Seal Vice Chairman, Doris Petra, FKF Vice President, Barry Otieno, former FKF CEO, Cleophas Shimanyula, Kakamega Homeboys Chairman, Tom Alila, former FKF NEC member, Gor Mahia Secretary General Samuel Chola, former Harambee Stars player Sami Owino Kempes, and FKF NEC member Chris Amimo. But away from the bravado that each camp is displaying, what will really make a candidate win on the ultimate day? I am calling about the clubs, particularly at the Premier League and Super League and Division 1 level. Stop being euphoric about, who sisi ni watu wa nani, sisi ni watu wa nani. No, because at the end of the, after 7th, you are still going to have the same problems that you have been having over the period of time. The members who casted their votes, to elect the branch officials should not leave the decision at the whims of the chairman. We are talking about how do we, arrive at the best way to develop Kenyan football. That is a critical thing, so that at the end of the day, football should win, not individuals. Whoever emerges victorious has a Herculean task to restore the battered image of Kenya's football in the eyes of the stakeholders. The winner will also have to work extra hard to win the confidence of the corporate world. The highly contested elections come in the backdrop of Harambee Stars' embarrassing failure to qualify for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations finals, set to be hosted by Morocco. While in the local league scene, Kenyan club representatives to Continental Club Championships have been reduced to mere flower girls in the competition season after season. Steve Shitera for Sporty Monday, Nairobi.
Fantastic reporting there, Shitera. I'll stay with you. I know you're a stakeholder as a journalist, but the fact is now all road points to the national elections set for December 7. We've covered this election before, and as we were discussing off camera, sasa ngoma ndio inaanza. Yeah.
I think what we will see in the next 3 weeks, as Wakili said, we'll see coalitions. We'll see people trying to put together what they have, because there are people who have numbers that will not add up. So they will try and form some committees towards the election, so that I will use my numbers to put in a basket so that we can have a way on 7th. But
we're going to have a football handshake.
Yeah. So many. Although handshakes comes after the election, I think this one will be pre-elections. Because ukikaa chini ukiangalia unaona I have 6. I will not make it. Wacha nishikane na mwenye ako na 20 tuongeze angalau zijae. But again, something that I want to throw out as a caution, and Wakili here will try and help us understand it. You see, the case at Kitui was not concluded. It's only that the orders were lifted to have the window of election complete so as to appease FIFA, because if we were to go that way, then we will be falling into a trap that will otherwise affect our football. The case, I think, has been consolidated by the one at the Milimani Law Courts. And something that I got out of that case is that the registered federation is Kenya Football Association. And this one, it is for the Registrar of Sports, Wasike, to try and explain. And if it is found that it is KFA that is legally registered and not FKF, and we've held elections for FKF, and we've had leaders under the federation, FKF, then what will happen? You see, we might have completed the elections, yes, but again, a ruling comes out and says that...
Chitera, you know, I'm itching to...
You are dislodging
really,
me and I have not finished.
Because Chitera, Swila is patiently waiting for that explanation. And I think as people who understand football, honestly, I want to be... And Wakili is here, I know law is law. But this was one of the most frivolous cases I saw as far as this election is concerned. Because Chitera...
But wait,
hold on. You have an agenda.
You know, just make it. That's why I'm saying it affects me when we take time on it. Why? This election is FKF and there is KFA. The confusion that has been brought by the Sports Act 2013, where there is no harmony between them and the Federation's constitution, should not be used only for this process. You understand? Let me
it shouldn't be applied selectively, that's what you're saying.
Selectively, because if you are KFA, you are saying, where did you conduct an AGM even to prepare for the election? Where did you even pass as a KFA? Did we have even an AGM for conducting elections? Because you know the process of elections, Chitera, what the FKF have done. There's nothing that the KFA has done of saying that this is how we have been preparing for an election. There was no SGM, there was no AGM, there was no nothing. When they play their leagues and teams win in the county, where do they compete? Do they have a structure of going all the way to FIFA? This is the issue. Yeah. For now, the law has brought a confusion that we must not tie ourselves into in these elections, because the law provides for KFAs. But you see, they are not in tandem with FIFA. So what we can do, and I am glad as we speak, the committee for the review of the Sports Act 2013 has been formed. Ohaga is going to be chairing it. These are the confusion that we need to remove, so that in the future, we don't have people coming legally, as Wakil will telling you that KFAs are registered, but they are just coming to cause confusion. Because I can tell you, FIFA will never recognize something called KFA.
True.
And therefore, watu wa mkutano wa watu wa ng'ombe ukifanyika, watu wafugaji wa nguruwe ni wakae kando.
To put this to rest.
Can we hear this, Sarah? Okay.
Let me put this to rest.
Yes.
The issue is, let us not blame the law. The law was there to help guide everything.
Yes.
But somebody deliberately did not register FKF. On this, I think the blame would sit with the sports registrar, because it is the duty of the sports registrar.
Now, just hold on there. Let me cut you short. You will expound more.
Yeah.
Now, here we're being told FKF is a legal entity, quote unquote. Wasike is there as a sports registrar. The sports ministry is there. They've been conducting business with the federation, pumping millions, running into billions.
Yeah. That's where I was heading to.
So where does this leave us? If this entity wasn't registered or it's illegal, why has the government been facilitating it?
And it's been doing all these things legally.
I was explaining. The reason we are not going to blame the law is because all federations were required to go and register when the Sports Act was passed, and I think all federations had, and all teams and all footballing, whatever, sports entities were required to go and comply with the Sports Act. Failure to comply with the Sports Act cannot be blamed on the registrar. However, the same Sports Act requires that the registrar recognizes that whoever is coming to register a national sporting organization should be the one that is affiliated with the international standard.
Absolutely.
So at this point, the blame would go to the registrar, having allowed KFA to be registered as the national sporting organization in charge of football, knowing very well that they do not have football affiliation with FIFA. So that is where but there's no confusion per se. The issue is, why did FKF fail to register itself? And why did the sports registrar register this other body? And also just another clarification. The reason the case in Kitui failed, rather it did not fail, it was stayed because somebody was forum shopping on stopping these elections, filing a similar matter in Milimani, Nairobi, filing another one in Kitui.
And actually, Wakili, I won't be shocked if in the next few days
we would have a stay order.
Even Chitera can go to court right now and make some
the 7th election
you see, Swila, and I'm not a lawyer, but because of the love of the game, I understand some of the laws that, you know, with all respect to Wakili. You see, I differ with her when she says we cannot blame the law here. The moment laws can easily give entry to a person to come and stop what people are supposed to do. For example, she's saying that failure of having a KFA that is affiliated to FIFA and CAF makes it then, even whatever they would do, will not have a good end result. The moment we have a law that already is a fertile ground for the kind of the gimmicks we see, we blame it. And that's why I'm saying, Swila, one of the key things...
Let me try and educate...
Just a moment, just a moment.
No, I gave you a moment.
No. Let me finish my point and say this.
Let me educate Isia.
Why it will be very important for us to see, the end of... No, Shitera...
Just conclude, then you'll respond, okay?
Shitera, you need to listen to this.
Okay,
this is the issue. Why it is... And Nimiana Wasike, by the way, is there. You know, I was at the FKF AGM, and Wasike was present. Rose Wasike was present, the first registrar. At that time, she never said that, you see, you guys cannot hold this election.
Yes.
This FKF that we are saying is the one that's been running football that we're even blaming them for the Arabesa's failure.
But that is my problem, the same problem I have. Everything munapitisha, and then after that you come in with small issues.
You see, small issues. The law, you can argue whatever you want to argue out here. But so long as I prove to you that you are an illegal entity. How many organizations have been running businesses in Kenya, but they've been declared illegal? So many. You remember FKL? Football Kenya Limited? Yeah? Do you know how now FKF came into being? Same process. It was taken to court. And FKL was rendered illegal. And FIFA,
so, in summary, what's your point? What's your message?
And FIFA agreed to it and adopted FKF. Initially, we used to have FKL.
So in all this, where does it leave us the elections? Let's lose no sight of
where does it mean? And that's why I brought in FKL, FKF. FIFA came in and we had a normalization committee because we used to have, under the leadership of Kasuve and the late Hatimi, you remember them? But when FKL was rendered illegal, FIFA helped transition through a normalization committee.
That's correct.
So that does not stop anything in law is here. It doesn't.
That's okay, but from where we are now...
way forward,
how do you see this election panning out? We've done the branches after a lot of litigation, and now everybody is looking forward to December 2nd.
But what I'm saying is,
in all fairness,
the litigations have not been settled. That
absolutely.
is my point.
But in all fairness, Zita, as you come in, I think FKF, give them their due, they could be the devil. I don't think there's a federation that is oversighted in Kenya than Football Kenya Federation. Yeah.
True. It is true, and as you said, like all the branches election have already been done. Now we're going to the national. Everyone is looking at December 5th. Everyone has been given all the platform and everything that needs to be done to go out to do their campaign. And this is the time that whereby you can see on my side, I see like everything is transparent. On my side, like no one has come up after the branches election to complain that this and this has happened. So now ndio kivumbi imeanza. So as much as
kivumbi imeanza, but in that debate we lost something very important in that package, and Shitera did bring it out, but we haven't touched on it. all camps are claiming victory after the branch election. Doris Petra and Nick Mwendowa, we saw what they are Team Blue.
Yes.
Hussein and his camp.
Shimanyula has said.
They are all claiming victory. Yes. Where does it say if it was a pendulum? How is it swinging?
But again, Swila, you know the branches election, it's just you have to elect someone who's going to represent you to the national level. Whereby, of course...
And these are the voters.
And these are the voters.
Yes.
And they are the voters. They are the people who are going to make the decision who is going to be the FKF president in the coming like 3 weeks already, 2 weeks and a half. So the branches have already finished their work. So now the ball is in the what?
How do you see it going? How do you see it going? 30 seconds.
And as I can see, everyone has already said the branches, they've won the branches. But again, I can tell you, everything will be made public and open on 7th of December. And this is the time that...
you're itching, but just hold on. Chitera, the aspect of money, voter bribery, that's a fact. We can't bury our heads in the sand. It happens in national politics. It's going to happen in this FKF election. I covered the last one. Delegates were put in a hotel throughout the night. They had a watchman looking over them. How do you see? Is this still going to be a case in this? The influence of money.
I was to bring it out that you all understand why Ambrose Rachir
lost.
And you all understand why Ambrose Rachir said, I will never vie.
Actually, he said he'll never. Yeah.
He'll never. Because we are not guided by what we want.
By ethics and ethos.
We are not, and that is what the former CEO, Aduda, said, that let us not give power to these delegates to go and
decide,
reap. Not even decide, because it's reaping. Because that is what they are after, and that is why everyone is claiming victory. Because these are the people who are going now to form the electoral
college, if you want to.
But unfortunately, I think these are some of the reforms that needs to be put in football, so that the real football holders should
have their voice.
Because you can't tell me that a representative in Kakamega will go and make a decision that represents, let's say, millions of football lovers in Kakamega, and yet does not depict what the football lovers would have wanted.
No, that's what but again, everything is unfair.
The money.
So you cannot allow that to happen. Are you dreaming?
That is a very sweet topic.
That is why I say you will see coalitions. Why? A person who sees that I will not make it to the end, I want to team up with let's say
a place where he will benefit.
I want to see.
Don't forget that.
Really quick, but they are disturbing me.
A place where you will benefit.
Let me finish, because they are interjecting and they are not making any point. I want to team up with someone, let's say, like Hussein Mohammed, who looks like probably he might win, so that after he wins, then I will get something from the win. And that is the direction and the trajectory.
Yes. I have a
that is how election is being done.
He keeps on saying he's being interjected, but it takes a lot of time. When I want to tell you some sweet news, let me tell you, I know these things. Let me tell you now the truth. On Saturday, on Mchezo na Burudani, Radio Citizen, we did an experiment, Mwamburi and I, my colleague. So we said, every person is claiming to have won in the branches.
Yes.
Petra camp, Hussein camp, Shimanyula camp. Let me say the others are somehow dropping. So we said, randomly we're going to pick the chairman of those branches and let them speak. Because if Swila says that Isia's vote is mine and that is mine, Brenda's is mine, you cannot confirm until you talk to them and say. So we talked to a couple of them. We called randomly. Tuliwapigia simu na wakasema vile ambavyo ilivyo. Can I tell you what was happening? And this one is on record. You can ask Becky also. She tell people ulisikiza show.
In fact, kama unge watch your story. Kama unge watch your story. Honestly, the chairman and their sides.
Honestly, all the people who we called, honestly, they say they are Team Blue.
They are Team Blue.
Do you know Team Blue?
Team Blue is the incumbent.
No,
it's better. Now, that's what they said. But this is what I'm going to say. I'm saying all. You see, between now and 7th, there's a very big room of changing things.
Absolutely.
Because I've heard also the price
has shot up.
From
500 to 1 million.
So basically, this is what it means. Shitera is talking about coalitions. Let me tell you, there will be no coalitions. You know what's going to happen? You realize the person you are supporting from the branches is not going to make it. Before people handshake, you've already said you want to be on the winning side.
As a journalist, I did a story.
The president
and I tried to balance the story.
Let me ask you,
for heaven's
what
sake,
would a person who has 1 vote or 2 votes bring for
the presidential candidates are not going to make decisions.
That guy from Northeastern,
5 seconds, we don't have the time.
He has counted Wajir, he has counted Mandera, he has counted Isiolo, he has counted Garissa. And he said all these votes are for Team Fresh.
Of course.
Yeah, the problem is...
I put the other guy in Nairobi who says, I'm Team Blue.
Of course.
The problem is... No, it's in this Sila.
Hold on. We are heckling now.
Sila.
Hold on. All said and done, this decision will be made on December 7th.
Right.
They all know in their hearts of hearts where they're going to cast their vote. 2 seconds.
The presidential candidates are not going to make decision for the candidates who are going to vote for the president. Simply because you cannot tell me to go to this camp and I don't want to go to this camp. I am the one who is
will decide.
I am one who is holding that vote. So telling me that there will be going to be a coalition out and mimi kwanza nimekufanyia favor your vote nikiwa huko chini. So there's no coalition that is going to be formed. It's going to be me making my own decision to go and vote for people. So everyone who thinks that maybe Wajir is mine, trust you me. It's going to change.
Heated conversation, you can see. Matters football and election, always raising a lot of emotions. But of course, we are here to walk this journey to the tail end. Whether it's the courts, whether it's on the ballot, whether it's on the pitch, we will be there to tell the story. And it's on that basis, again, we are asking you the question of the day. What should be done to change the perennially underachieving and underpunching Harambee Stars? We want to hear from you. And of course, we'll be sampling those feedback at the tail end of the program. For now, Sporty Monday takes a brief commercial break, but when we return, lots to dissect, including the European football, the German talk, and of course, a special feature, Know Your Sport. Stay tuned.